All right, today we're gonna find out if it's actually possible to start an Amazon business with just $100. Because I'm sure you've seen this too, but when I started selling on Amazon, everyone was talking about how you needed thousands of dollars and there was all these crazy different ways you could actually sell products on Amazon, but I just needed something simple. So I ended up taking the money that I had made at my minimum wage job in high school and eventually grew that into a $7 million Amazon business. Now, of course, there was lots of trial and error along the way, and that's actually why we're in the car right now, because I want to put myself back in the shoes of a brand new Amazon seller and show you exactly how I would take that $100 that you have right now to grow it into a successful Amazon business. So give me a couple minutes to drive to the store and I'm going to kick it to future me to explain a lot more of the detail. But real quick, before we pop back to alternate dimension me and start sourcing some products, I want to give you guys some context as to where the $100 is going to go and what this business even is. Because I know for me, when I first started selling on Amazon in 2018, I really wanted to know what I was getting into in terms of time and money commitment. And right off the bat, I also want to set the expectation that obviously your business is going to do better if you have more money to start, but I only had about $1,000 when I was personally starting my Amazon business. You can definitely get started for less. And what we're going to use that $100 for initially is almost entirely inventory. Our goal as an Amazon seller on a budget is to spend as much money on things that grow your money. So that's obviously inventory. And realistically, what that's going to break down to is about $80 to $85 of that first $100 being spent on inventory. And then the last $15 being spent on anything like labels, tape, boxes, a lot of which you can get for free or super cheap online. What does that inventory look like? Let's head back over to the store and start sourcing stuff together so I can just show you what I mean. So first things first, you can do this at pretty much any retail store that you have nearby. I like going to places like TJ Maxx that have big clearance sections, and a lot of their products just in general are nice and discounted. And so today, for example, I found this clearance end cap that was selling a bunch of makeup, and I want to talk through what I'm looking for as I scan these products. So tactically, what I use to actually scan these products is an app called SellerAmp. When you're on an extremely limited budget, you can get a 2-week free trial of this. I would recommend doing that the first time you go out. And then if you really want to stretch your budget, you could make do with the Amazon Seller app. But let's look at this first product here and show you the important stats about Amazon products. First of all is going to be the BSR, the best sellers rank. The closer that number is to 1, the closer it is to being the #1 item in that category. In this case, this makeup that I scanned here is a 6,000 rank, which is very high. You can see that sells 400 times a month. And that's also cool because it shows you the true potential of selling on Amazon. That means there's 6,000 products that sell that fast or equally as fast, and lots of other products that sell a little bit slower. And what was obviously more interesting about this one is when I scan it, you can see the profit right there. This was $3 on the shelf, but looking at the app, I can see this is actually a $5.60 profit. And if you do decide to use the Amazon Seller app instead, you'll just enter in your cost in a very similar way. It'll show you your profit. Where it becomes useful to have extra data like we have on SellerAmp is looking at the historical information. So on this product, for example, we can actually go down to the chart and see the entire history of this product, not just what the price is today. And the reason that's useful is it shows me that, hey, this price is pretty much always the price on this item. It's very realistic that I'm actually going to be able to sell this product for $15, even though I only paid $3 for it. And sometimes you might also scan products like this. They're obviously not all going to be good. Just some simple things to look out for. You can see this, for example, has no reviews. There's no bestseller rank. So there's just really not a lot of history that this item has actually sold. So at a fundamental level, what I'm looking for are items that have a sales rank generally below 150,000. I'm looking for products that the brand does not sell, and I'm looking for products that already have existing reviews. Because the way this works is we're buying things very cheaply that already have existing search demand on Amazon. Our only job is to go in there and meet the demand. As I kept scanning here, I also found another case that was pretty interesting. This was $4 on the shelf, but since I was looking at the historical data on SellerAmp, on the chart, you see how there was actually sales back in the day at 24 bucks. That means if I bring this item back to Amazon, charge $24 for it, I'll make about $12 in profit per unit. Or there's obviously a lot simpler examples like this one here. Not the fastest seller in the world, but it does sell 10 times a month, and when I plug in my cost price, I could just list this on Amazon and make a $6 profit per sale. Or taking a look at this lip pencil that I found, here's an example of why going out to stores is a really good way to start, because the ROI can be super high. The only competition that we're dealing with is other people that happen to scan this exact product at your local store recently, and in a lot of places that's not going to be a big number, and it leads to finding stuff like this that sells for $5.50 on the shelf, but it sells for $22 on Amazon, which obviously leaves us with a great profit of almost 200% ROI. So that's just a couple examples of the fundamental types of products we're looking for. There's obviously more detail we need to break down, including things like getting ungated, which I'm sure if you've looked into selling on Amazon before has either felt really challenging or downright impossible. Because what you'll notice when you try to list, especially big popular name brand products on Amazon, is that it requires approval. So for example, if we went in and tried to list something like DeWalt tools that we had found at a retail store, it's going to say that we need to submit invoices that basically prove that we buy authentic products. And so here's the deal when it comes to these invoices. If we buy a brand that needs one, we're going to have to get that invoice online. Since Amazon requires your information to be on the invoice that you submit, using a retail receipt will not work for getting ungated, although it will work later down the line if Amazon ever asks for proof that you buy authentic inventory. It's not going to suffice if Amazon wants us to get approval to sell that brand. So as a new seller on a budget, the best practice is going to be to start just making a mental note or even just a real note of brands that you're finding out at the store that you find consistently profitable. And if you do end up finding a few of those products, maybe it makes sense to go to Target. You could just go get 10 of those lip balms from Target, download that PDF that they send you as your invoice, and then use that to get ungated on Amazon. Then every time you go out to the retail store after that, you would have the Burt's Bees brand unlocked, or even easier, you can auto ungate brands and be approved to sell those brands without any invoices. And this process can be automated for free while you're on a trial of Boxem. And what this tool is eventually going to do for you is it's going to be where you list all your products, ship all your products, track all your profit, feedback. Obviously, we need to make sure our $100 goes as far as possible for now. So what I would suggest is just getting a free trial of Boxem, going into bulk ungate, and then clicking this bulk scan button. What that's going to do is it's going to automatically reference a list of products for your store, and it's going to spit out a list of usually anywhere from 50 to 100 brands. For my store, I'm actually auto approved to sell almost the entire list because I've been selling on Amazon for a while. But what those 50 to 100 brands are going to do is it's going to show you some of those brands that you can also be on the lookout for next time you're out at the retail store, because what it just did is it went into Seller Central and it tried to apply and got approved for all those brands on your behalf. So now we know how to find products, we know how to get approved to sell those products. And just as another note, if you don't have one of these like retail stores or something nearby, the way I actually personally started, which I don't think is as effective anymore, but just to prevent all the alternatives in the world, I don't want any excuses in the comment section, you can actually just go and buy used books. Using that same info we just broke down, you can just go to a thrift store, start scanning the barcodes of books, and that's actually exactly how I started. I would start just finding like textbooks on the shelves, hobby books, nonfiction stuff that sold for a good amount of money, and I eventually used that to snowball into the business that I still run today. Because now that's our goal, right? We need to build that snowball to get that $100 up to $1,000 to $2,000 as fast as possible, because once we do have that $1,000 to $2,000, that's where things can get really fun, and that's where you can really start implementing different methods and different ways to scale a lot faster on Amazon. Right now though, maximum profit is our goal, so we need to do things that are a little bit harder to scale, like actually going out to stores. So really what that leads to is us needing to figure out how to make the sales on these products that we just found out at the store together as fast as possible so that we can go out and keep buying more stuff. And that's where the different Amazon fulfillment methods are going to come into play. Specifically, as a new seller, what you're going to want to leverage is Amazon FBM, aka Fulfilled by Merchant, just shipping products out of your bedroom. If you've ever sold anything on eBay or Facebook, things like that, where you just put the shipping label on the box, ship it right out to the customer, that is Amazon FBM. If you compare that to Amazon FBA, which is probably what you've heard of before, shipping everything all off to Amazon all at once and letting them do the shipping for us, that's obviously more scalable and a little less time consuming. But the big downside to that is we're going to have to wait 2 to 4 weeks for those items to check in at Amazon and become available for sale, versus if we're going out to the stores and scanning things, we can literally just list the product from our phones as we're still out at the store. And I've even had products sell out that I bought, put down in the cart, and it was sold before I even checked out at the store. So getting those quick sales via FBM is obviously going to be the priority early on. So let me actually just jump into Amazon Seller Central so that we can create one of these listings together. As a side note, this is much faster if you use Boxem later down the line, like I mentioned, but when we're on a budget, we're just going to go ahead and search for those products. To do that, we're going to go ahead and go to Amazon Seller Central and then just click add products. Go ahead and paste the ASIN for the product you want to sell, the UPC, or the product title. All of those things are going to be available on the Amazon page when you actually scan the product or use SellerAmp or the Amazon Seller app. Go ahead and search for that. Go ahead and select the condition. In our case, it's going to be new. We obviously want to sell this product. Go ahead and give it a SKU here. So I'm going to say like TJ Maxx. I don't remember right now. I'm going to say I paid $5 for it. And then I'm going to put today's date just so I remember what day I purchased it, so that I can come back and as I'm repricing things or wanting to restock, I know as much information as possible. And then obviously I want to select that I want to ship this item myself if it sells. Go ahead and select how much quantity you have. So in our case, we found like a couple units of everything. And then obviously go ahead and set a price, which is going to display right here what the normal price on the listing is. Usually what I'll do is I'll list just a little bit above what the current price is, see if I can sell it at that higher price point, and then I can always lower it back down after a day or two if the sales are not rotating up to that higher profitable price point. So on this, I might try $30, see if I can sell it a couple bucks above what the item is actually selling for, and then we can go ahead and press submit. One other thing that can be helpful in the FBM process is setting up a smart shipping template, which is basically detailed settings that allow us to say how long we want to promise that the item will get from us to each state in the US. And the end goal of that is to change how much the shipping costs on our end so that we don't accidentally overpromise and have to buy really expedited overpriced shipping. What's going to happen after you have that item listed on Amazon is when you make a sale, you're going to see that sale pop up on your Amazon seller dashboard. Then we'll actually just go into Amazon Seller Central right here. You can see I blurred out some of the information about this example product, but basically what we're going to do is we're going to fill in the dimensions of this product. We're going to fill in how much it weighed. And then when we do that, we're going to see all of the shipping services that this particular package is eligible for. In my case, you can see all of the options, all the different speeds via UPS, USPS, and FedEx. Those are typically all going to be options when you're shipping through Amazon FBM. After you choose that shipping option, you'll download the shipping label. There's lots of different orientations you can download it with. Shouldn't be the hard part. And then just go ahead and drop it off at whatever shipping store you actually use to get that item shipped out. Also keep note that a lot of these services will come pick up those packages for you. USPS is free as long as it's not a huge pickup. UPS and FedEx are both paid pickups, so probably not worth it if you're only shipping one product out, but as you go and start shipping out a lot of things every day, that does become worth it just as a time saver. And sweet, so now we have our simple game plan to get to that first $1,000 to $2,000 in true profit for your business to start reinvesting into the next phase of your growth. The business model where we go out physically to the retail stores, I tend to see cap off for most people around the $20,000 to $30,000 a month mark, although I have seen people go on and sell multiple millions per year with that model. You'd have to get pretty creative, and in my mind, it's a lot easier to start sourcing those products from your laptop instead of going out to the stores. And this is what I still do to this day. It's how we sold right around $2 million last year, and it's how I'm going to continue scaling my business as I move forward. Because now that we've reached the point in our business where we can start actually investing in things to really start scaling up, now we can reference the auto ungate checker on Boxem a lot more, which for me actually led me to realizing that I was auto ungated to sell this brand right here, this like plastic filament stuff for a 3D printer. And it turns out this item's actually profitable because what you can do is, even though this item's on Amazon for 32 bucks, it's auto ungated. I can just go back over here to the brand's website and buy this with a volume discount for $13 per unit. So now instead of going out to the stores and just buying as much as I have on the shelf, now I can go out and say, all right, this sells pretty well. It sells 700 plus times a month. I make $5 in profit every time it sells. So even though my ROI isn't as high as I liked it being in the retail arbitrage world, now I can just go in and buy, let's say 100 of these and sell those over the course of a month. So instead of finding 20 different items to sell 100, 200 different products, now we can find one item that sells 100 units, which obviously in our case would expand to being a $500 a month opportunity. And the easiest place to keep finding more of these opportunities is diving in on SellerAmp, where it now is a true essential. When you're starting the online portion and kind of scaling up, you will need these tools, because what we can do is just go ahead and check out like this person here who has no feedback. They're selling this brand that we already found a proven product for and are ungated, and we can see what else has this person found success selling. So it seems like they're also selling some soundtracks here, like a vinyl or something, which when I Google it on SellerAmp, I can see it goes for about 40 bucks. Over here, it's telling me that I need to buy it for about $33 to be profitable. So I'd need to find like a really good coupon or something specialized here to make this profitable. To me, that tells me I should just probably continue on and start looking for the next item, which in this case, looks like they're also selling some of the parts for this product, which is this right here. So the X1 series. So for example, like what is this? This says like X1 series and P1 series compatible. What does this cost after volume discounts? It costs $11. We need to buy these for about $9. So really what we're doing as we're looking through the store here is to figure out which of these items are worth me Googling, which of them seem reasonable that I could buy it for that price. This obviously is not reasonable that I can get paid $3 to get this item. These people are just probably not making profit anymore. And the ones where it does seem a little bit more reasonable that I might actually be able to get it at that price, like this one, for example, because we already saw a fan that was like 11 bucks. So maybe this like slightly fancier version is achievable at that price point. Those are going to be the ones that I actually Google and start digging into, and obviously buying in a lot larger bulk than when we were buying at retail stores. So on this one, for example, we need to buy it for 21 bucks. Looking at the website, the 4mm complete, I think is what we're looking at. 4mm, yeah. So this is actually going to work out to be about $25 per unit. So this is another one of those where the price is maybe a little bit higher than is actually viable. We can also see there's plenty of other brands that this person sells. So this, for example, this Selkirk has a different brand they carry. It's a good way to like expand into just like new opportunities, which actually this could be a decent example. I don't think the profit's going to be anything too crazy, but you can see we could buy this for $5 and it sells for 14. Plugging that in on SellerAmp, I think it's going to be a little bit thin on profit per unit, but $2.50 is decent. Usually I like to look for $3. The ROI meets my standards. So there's like another example of a profitable item, especially for a new seller. No reason not to go out there and check out something like that. Let's see. They also sell some of these other filaments. Like here's black. If we can buy that for 15 bucks, it should be profitable. Or here, what about this, the yellow one here? If we pull that up on the website, which version was this? This was matte 3D. And then over here on the website, the matte ones are 23, but we know there's a big coupon. Let's see. Yeah, we can get those for 15 bucks this weekend, but we are looking for a max cost of 16. So this is going to be another example of a profitable product as well. Maybe this one as well. It's a little bit cheaper actually. We need to get those for 13. But yeah, plugging this in at 15 bucks, selling for 34. Here's another example of a profitable item. And this would be another one of those where this sells 50 times a month. How much competition do we have? In this case, it seems like on SellerAmp, I can see in the last like 5 days, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people who have sold it. So I'd probably just buy like 10 on this just because like we do have a fair amount of competition for how many people are on it. But still, there's 50, 60 bucks in profit that we made just using the inspiration from that initial idea we started from here. But obviously the downside to online arbitrage you're seeing is that the ROI in general tends to be a little bit lower as a trade-off for being able to do it all from home. But for me, that's just more so the business I want to run. I want to run a business that can truly become outsourceable. And at this point, I've also been able to hire virtual assistants to run the sourcing process. And I work with prep centers to receive all the products. So at this point in my Amazon business, I don't actually physically touch or ship any products myself. And I don't even source the products myself. But that's what's possible later on. Don't assume that's going to be something you can do right away, especially if you have $100. You're going to have to go through the process that we broke down here. If that sourcing process is a little bit confusing, I have super detailed, like literally multi-hour long videos here in the channel, just sourcing products if you want to watch one of those. But now you have the entire game plan to turn that $100 that you already have in your pocket into a profitable business that generates thousands of dollars per month. I know it's possible because I've done it myself and helped thousands of other people do it at this point as well. And if you watch this far in the video, I'd encourage you to click the link down below for the upcoming free live workshop we host. We hop on those Zoom calls for free every couple weeks to source products with you, break down ungating, answer any questions you have, and they're always just a good time. So if you do only have that $100 in your pocket, what are you waiting for? Go start from step 1 like we just broke down. I'm excited to see you get after it. Let me know if you have any questions down below, and if you wanted to see more online arbitrage sourcing, looking for products that are already approved, go ahead and click this video right here.